What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Make the Right Play. We're back. We got another exciting episode here for you. You got a live guest coming in. We're very excited to talk to. As always, I got the coach here on my left. I got Yabui behind the camera, making everything work for us, making everything sound good for us. Shout out Yabui and Yabui Media for all your media needs in the Pensacola area. We got another awesome show. Lots of fun stuff to chat about this week. Lots of stuff going on. We'll start always, as always, checking in on the coach. Coach, how you doing? How's everything going so far?
I have to be honest with you. I'm exhausted. I am so tired. Let me tell you, I started doing physical therapy because I have my hip issues.
Right.
So I got my left hip replaced, and the doctor said, once you replace the left hip, the right hip is going to start bothering you. I never really had a problem with the right hip or the leg. I'm in so much pain
It's really
now.
a shame that they just couldn't do both right off the rip. Like, let's just get them both out of the way. Let's get them done and fix you up. And like, you got to go through this whole process all over again. Cause I remember you having to do all the physical therapy sessions the first go around.
Yeah.
And then now you have to do it again for the hip that they could have just done it all at the same time.
Well, you know what happened? It's all about insurance.
Yeah. Which is,
So, our situation changed. We didn't have the same insurance. And
Right.
you got to procrastinate with things. And now I have to go to physical therapy at 7:00 in the morning.
which is just, it's really just so unfortunate. So you got to go at 7:00 in the morning. You got to be at work at 8. So you're up early. I'm up early with the dog. The dog's like, we're starting the day 5
please.
a.m.
I was already 2 hours into life and I saw Carlos.
No.
heading to
I
work,
was up in the morning.
walking the dog, but you didn't leave. When
Ready
did
to
you
go
leave for
5
work?
o'clock.
When did you
8:30.
leave for work?
8:30.
Right. That's already half my day is already gone.
Half your day is not already gone. Give me a break.
Listen, it's hard getting ready as a woman. I have to get up at 5:30.
I'm up at the same
I get up
time.
at 5:00.
Yeah, I see the
So
light
walk the
on.
dog and then go lay down and say, Leia, here's a bone that Granny got you.
Yeah, for
home
20,
goods."
and then that lasts 20 minutes, and then she's whining at the door. Let's go downstairs.
It's true.
We're walking that dog 6:15, 6:30. We're walking that dog. You were walking out of the house at 6:30. I was walking the dog outside.
It's true. And I was going to physical therapy and you were back home sipping coffee.
No, I was getting ready because we had to get the house ready. Listen, I don't want to hear it.
All right.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
Well,
Welcome to the world.
so anyway, I was very sore. Welcome to what?
I said, welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. Going to work.
Let me tell you something. Going to work is a lot easier than raising 4 kids, and that
I
is
agree.
the truth.
I 100%
that is
agree.
The God honest truth.
I
Let me tell
100%
you, I
agree.
put something down. It's right. Nobody never bothers me at work. I'm at
Nobody
work,
bothers
and
you
I am
at
so
work.
safe. I don't have
All
to worry
day,
about
you
nobody.
come home, you're like, everybody's bothering me.
No, let me tell you, when I was raising you kids, nobody was like a terrorist in that house. Nobody
terrorist.
was stealing the scissors. Nobody was causing a mess. Nobody was doing everything. Now
Right.
I go to work, I put something down, it's still there. And it's a lot easier than raising 4 children, let me tell you.
I would agree. I could imagine that it is easier.
So believe me. And I was up much earlier than you with Leia. Much earlier than you, up all night taking care of babies. And that's the truth.
Up all night. All
Yeah.
night, coach.
Yes. Because I breastfed the kids, so I was up all night.
Yep. No, I'm not sure. I'm sure
And
you're
then
100%
there were times
correct.
one kid would be asleep and then the other one would wake up.
Yeah.
So don't even try it. I will tell any mother, a stay-at-home mother, it is so much harder to be a stay-at-home mother than it is to be going to work. And I have a demanding job.
You do have a demanding job.
So,
That is true.
And I will tell you, God bless the women who was home taking care of kids all day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're low energy. It's low energy Jeb today. That's what you got here.
I have low energy.
You just said you were exhausted. You started
I am
the show.
exhausted,
The first
but I
words
still
out of your
have the
mouth,
high
Coach. How you
energy.
doing?
Listen,
I'm
a New
completely
Yorker. I'm like
exhausted.
Trump.
That was
Trump,
exactly
or
what
else
your
I'd be, in a
first
satanic
reaction.
cabal. I'm not like Trump, or else,
We got pushback from last week's episode. There were people commenting that we're moving away from Jesus because we're not sucking Trump off and voting for the flock cameras.
Who said that?
That was we got an actual comment. That's legit. That's legit. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly who commented it.
That's insanity. Who would think that because we don't worship?
Called you out by name too, so it's somebody that we know because they called you out by name. They asked Lisan why you're moving away from Christ by not being a full Trumpy. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly who it was.
You have to tell me who this
It
heathen
was.
is.
It was J. Scarlet P. Called you out by names. Lisan, you're moving away from Trump. No way I would vote for John Frankman. We need the data centers to stay ahead of China. You guys are big dummies. We need the flock cameras to go after all the criminals we have in our society. I'm really disgusted that you're heading down the path away from Jesus, turning your back on Trump. J. Scarlet P.
J. Scarlet P is suffering from TDS type B. That's what's wrong with J. Scarlet P.
J. Scarlet P.
You have TDS type B. Let me tell you something. There's type A, where Trump could do no right, and then there's type B, where Trump could do no wrong. And if you think that this Byron Donald, who's a crook, is going to be able to fill that little Italian man's shoes who's in Tallahassee?
Little.
You listen, he's a
little Italian
guy.
man.
Oh,
wow.
wait, hold on. I have a very special person.
Oh, we got somebody calling in?
Our very special guest is at the door.
Our guest is here. Okay, awesome. Very excited. Are you going to let him in? Do you need me to go let him in?
I think you should let him in only because I don't know if I could turn
I'll go
the
get
key.
him. I'm leaving the studio. I'm going to do it.
I was able to close it.
I'm going to do it. You got to talk to the fans now, though. You got to. That's on you.
Listen, I'm telling you right now. There's no reason why China, that has twice the population that we have, can survive with 432 data centers. Go look it up. And here in the United States, we need over 4,000. You are being marched in. You're being like a sheep. The same way that we made fun of people who just ran and got the vax just because Dr. Fauci said you had to get it. You're going to run right into these data centers just because Trump tells you. And let me tell you something else. You need to look about what's going on in Virginia, because in Virginia, they have those data centers and the constant humming is awful. Woo!
All right. Here we go.
Wait till you meet our special guest.
So we got, there it is. So we got special guest
I am
live.
so happy you're here.
Live in studio.
I have to warn you.
You don't have to wear
I
it.
speak very
I'm telling you, you don't have to wear it.
Last week, the guest, when I was talking, was like...
Oh, no, it's all good.
I heard
might
his
get
ears.
down, too.
No, literally. Last week we had John Frankman on the
John
show,
Frankman.
And he had the headphones on to start, and the coach blew out his eardrum, so he had to take it off mid-interview. He was like, "I can't do this anymore. She's just way too loud in my ears."
I love it.
It's for the faint. It's not for the faint of heart to have the coach in your ears the whole time.
I want that experience.
Put it on. Good luck. I'm telling you, good luck. We'll bring this just a little bit closer to you, so that way. But man, we're pumped to have you on the show. Thanks so much for coming on with us.
No problem.
So obviously you're a very busy guy. You said it's your third stop.
Yeah, third stop. That last stop ran a little over.
So what happened? Where were you just now?
Okay, so I started at, I don't even know the first stop. I was at Seville Quarter. There was like a lot of candidates in the Tri-County area.
Oh, really?
And so, Republican, Democrat. So just, kind of working the room, spoke to that crowd, and went to the Belmont and the Villas neighborhood meeting. I was joined there with the other candidates, and it took a while to get out that room because everybody wanted to talk.
Yeah.
But you want to listen, and
Totally.
But I told them I had y'all waiting. I had to get here.
You were like, listen, I'm going on a big show.
Going on a big show. I've been waiting on this for months.
Well, I know. It's been exciting. We're excited to have you. Listen, I just want to start off the interview to make sure it's off on a good foot. The other day, I told I think it's one of your opponents, Treywick. I told Treywick to kick rocks. They came to the door, knocked on the door. They were like, "Yeah, we want to get your vote." I was like, "No." I was like, "Listen." I was like, "Kick rocks." I was like, "Get out of here." Jermaine Williams this is a Jermaine Williams household.
I appreciate that.
So you're spoken for. We kicked them. We kicked Treywick right to the curb.
What did he say when you told him that?
It was one of their campaign people, and they were like, "Oh, well, we don't want to try to change your vote." I was like, "No." I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Just."
Just go.
I was like, "Listen, man, get lost."
Yeah.
I was like, "We're not having this conversation." I was like, "This conversation's over."
And you know what though, I've gotten to know Treywick.
Yeah.
Treywick is a good person. I like Treywick.
I'm sure she is.
But I want to win.
Yeah. But listen, it's like, it's.
I think you did the right thing.
Yeah. We're like, listen, get out of here.
Absolutely.
We're not gonna
appreciate it. I wish I could give you a hug right now on that, man. I appreciate it.
I was like, listen, we're spoken for in this house. But you listen, we're excited to have you on. Obviously, you're a busy guy. I wanted to hear from you because I didn't know that there was another debate forum thing the other day until I saw your post.
Yeah.
You know, so how'd that go? How'd you feel on, because more candidates were there. It wasn't just you versus
Yeah.
DC. There was like
More
a
candidates.
collective, of people there. So how'd that go for you?
To be honest, I didn't know what I was walking into.
Yeah.
That was like my 7th forum. And that's why I have so much respect for Trey Wick. Me and Trey Wick is always there. And then it's like a mixed bag of who else may show up. So when you know how it is, if you go up against an opponent all the time, you're gonna learn to respect them.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm gonna be totally honest, because that's all I know how to do. I was tired.
I thought you did a good job. I saw a clip on TikTok, and I thought you did a good job.
Yes.
Like, what was it that you were talking about leadership, right? With the
police chief.
The police chief.
Yes,
That was a
yes.
great clip. That was a great clip.
Because I mean, that's the truth. How does the mayor not reach out to the family? Like, that's the first thing. Like, Mamdani is like a celebrity in New York,
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether you're far right, far left. Mamdani's going to go and reach out to every citizen in New York City whenever there's a tragedy.
That's true. And you know, like, I just, man, I grew up in a Democrat household.
Yeah.
But okay. You know, it does not matter. That kind of stuff does not matter.
I totally agree with you.
We are, I almost cussed. We are human beings.
This is a friendly podcast.
Sorry about that. But
Oh, you got the clip? All right, play that clip.
Oh, I
want
like
to. I want to
that
see it.
clip.
Let's show it. Your buoy's on it, man.
I love
He's ready.
your
He's
boy.
ready to go. This guy.
They're waiting on who next.
Oh, all right. We don't have the clip.
You live in a safe city, and no matter what happens from here, I'm proud of our track record that you live in one of the safest cities in the United States of America. And that, as long as I am in this job, there will be nothing that will get in the way of that, ever. It's why we make difficult decisions. Maybe you hire an outside person because they're the person ready for this job, and I'm very proud of the work so far that Chief Winstrom has done. I'm very proud to have the endorsement of our union. And when you think about it, that means I've worked with this police department, these officers that work so hard every night in the middle of the night to keep you safe. To have their endorsement is certainly an honor, and probably a little harder to attain after you've already worked with somebody for 4 years. It might be easier to think the grass is greener on the other side. So I'm proud to have their support, both the fire department and the police department.
Jermaine?
Yeah, I just want to do things that make sense. I mean, you know, again, they name that we are the safest city or however that may go, but then you fired the chief that made it safe. I mean, that doesn't make sense. But with that being said, I do love this new chief. I absolutely do. Right after the shooting on 4th of July, I just, you know, reached out to him and just asked, how can I help? How can I be involved? He didn't say, in the first text he sent back was, man, that mother is hurting. And that's not even something I heard from the mayor's office about condolences to the family, but it came from the chief. That's true leadership. So I do like him, but do things that make sense, because if Eric had this city safe, then should he still have a job?
That's awesome.
That's a good clip.
Honestly, Jermaine, I don't feel like DC Reeves cares about people.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. I'm sorry. I never get a vibe where it's like, oh, I really care about the people in the community. I feel he cares about one thing, money.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, money is the root of all evil.
It is.
I do not believe, and I mean, I have to say, and you know I was a Trump supporter, right?
Right.
Die Hard.
Oh my gosh. I cannot get over the demonic forces that are running this country right now. And he is the same way. All he cares about is money. And it really, like, I feel like there's a great awakening on both sides, where like people have to look at each other and say, you know what? It's not about Democrat. It's not about Republican anymore. It's between good and evil. It's
Absolutely.
between right and wrong. It's
Right.
between, are we going to take care of our fellow man? Or are we only going to, you know, just keep separating and dividing the wealthy people on one side and the people who have less on the other? And it really makes me sick, because when I first moved to Pensacola, I never got that vibe. Where lately, I've been feeling a little bit of that elitist vibe going on, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I really don't like it.
It's not good, and that's why, you know, I just love you all so much, because, you know, we would debate, you know, whatever, however, but it wasn't a big deal. But I love how, and you're just like me. If I see, like, I'm supporting something, then I'm not blindly supporting something. It's like, wait a minute, that feels off. That doesn't feel, and that goes on both sides, you know. And I feel like Pensacola it's more about human problems than anything. It's not about right or left, and especially like it's the have and have nots. And I want to always remind the people that may have. If they could do the certain things to the have-nots, it's only a matter of time before it comes knocking on your door. You know, and we are all like, my goodness, I don't know. We can be faced with a big crisis, and everyone will be scattering for money and trying to figure things out. We've been here before after 9/11 and everything. So, and some of the things I'm proposing, you know, some people look at it like, oh, that's a poor issue or a black issue or this issue. No, it's a human issue, because if you find yourself in that situation, a layoff or, you know, the way AI is just booming and, you know, jobs could be cut, anything can happen. And I just want citizens protected.
I mean, just ask all the people who used to work in the factories in Michigan, in Detroit, right?
Yeah,
right?
My brother got married in Detroit. It was a ghost town.
Wow.
When I tell you, like, it's a 5-lane highway, we will make maybe all of 4 cars. Like, it is a ghost town. But, I mean, this was a few years ago. What was that, 2021, I think?
2021, yeah, 2021.
And a lot of those people were white. So, I mean, it affects everybody.
Everybody.
It's like the ruling class, elite, evil people. Oh, I'm sorry, they call it the Epstein class, right? And then you have the regular people who want to love and serve God.
Absolutely.
You know, and take care of their fellow man and follow the right rules. Well, I have to tell you, so I came home. I'm going to show this to you. And my husband goes, oh, honey, look. I go, oh, my gosh, I'm so happy, Jermaine. And he goes, well, just read it.
Yeah.
So I have to put on my glasses. So I read it, and I go, community organizer endorsed by Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I saw that, and that pissed me off.
Well, you know, I think they did me the kindness of everybody
You know what? It's gonna backfire. But
Right.
the point is that to me, I felt like that was racist.
Yeah.
Like right away, you were trying to say that you're different because you're black. No,
Right.
how about we're all the same?
Absolutely.
I really feel that way. I feel like the difference is that if you worship Satan, you're bad. If you worship God, you're good.
Right.
That's how we have to start looking at each
No,
other.
absolutely.
And I mean, I was so turned off and disgusted. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to show that to Jermaine when I see it. So you saw it, right?
I saw it. Yeah, someone sent it to me.
Yeah.
Someone sent it to me, and you know, I looked at it,
And that's the worst insult they can come up with. That's not really an insult.
That was my biggest thing. Was like that of all the things that you could have said, you said, "Oh, he's endorsed by the Black Caucus." That's the biggest problem.
But
it's
that's
like
why it was
that's
so
what you pulled out of your
racist to me.
bag.
Yeah.
that was, and it was, you know, like I feel like after McGuire's, you all were there,
Yeah.
because from what I kept hearing, they were just really worried about Ann Hill. When I first launched my campaign.
Which I don't. Does Ann Hill exist? I haven't seen Ann Hill once. I'm dead serious. People talk about Ann Hill. I don't see. Where
I
is
have
Ann
to be
Hill?
honest with you. I've never seen her
I've
either.
never seen Ann Hill ever. Who is Ann Hill? I don't know who that is. If you put me in a room with all and be like, oh, can you point to Ann Hill? I have no idea who you were talking about. And if she could be standing right in front of me, I'd be like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
Serious,
Who are you? Who are
seriously,
you?
I don't know. Who is Ann Hill? Who is that?
I would say I do love Ann Hill.
Oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a politician. Yeah, he's a politician right here.
Let me
He's a
tell you,
politician.
I will say this about Ann Hill. Back when we were like fighting the same thing, that this elite class.
Right.
Do you all know Michael Kimbrough, the unhoused activist that got arrested for food sharing with the unhoused? And
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I do remember
that
that.
I met Ann Hill through him like 10, 12 years ago when we was pushing back on a lot of things. So that's when I first met Ann, and you know, we used to fight on different issues. So that's where I know her from. But you know, I have a lot of love for her. But you know, she you know, she's campaigning the way she wants to campaign.
By not? by not campaigning. That's how we're gonna campaign. We're just not gonna say anything and then just appear and they'll be like, "Oh, Ann Hill, nice name." Circle.
Right. I mean, you know, like, hey, you know, just give them props. I mean, like, because they're now. With that being said, as much as I love Ann Hill, her followers were not kind to me.
Really?
They did me worse than this.
I got to tell you something. And I know, but I feel like the people who are on the far left were always so awful. I'm sorry. And that's because I grew up a Democrat too. And after the things that I saw with that Bill Clinton was doing, like it really bothered me. And I said, I can't support, I'm not a Democrat anymore.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I like Giuliani. He cleaned up the city. New York was looking good. There wasn't like this animosity back then. Like if you were, like it just wasn't the same.
There wasn't. Yeah.
And
Yeah, it wasn't back
it's
then.
like when you have extremists, they're awful. And now I feel like there's TDS type B, where there's the people who are the extremists on the right, where Trump can't do anything wrong. And then you have the nasty liberals all the way on the far right, where they will cut you down so easily. And to me, they could be the biggest, like they always say, we're going to help women. When that cigar was going up that intern in the White House, where were all those women saying, hey, a president doesn't do that? No, they were all gone. To me, I always felt like being very condescending. Like, I need to tell you how to live. Right. And you know what? You shouldn't keep your money because I can spend it better than you can. And that always bothered me too. And I feel it's because they're not guided by a strong principle. You know what I mean? Like they're more taught something or indoctrinated something. There's not like a guiding principle that's in them that's really showing them the right way.
Yeah. And that's why I'm always correcting people when they call me a politician. And I always tell them, well, politicians lead with their pocket, and someone who wants change lead with their heart. And no matter what the label is of, excuse me, whether it's party, color, creed, whatever it may be, I look at a person's actions. You know, there's people from all colors, all sides, Democrat, Republican, Independent, that has done me very wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
So I just look at a person's actions because, man, it's a crazy world than what it was back in '94.
And we definitely need more of you, right? Because you are definitely, when I look at you, I listen to you speak, I read your campaign and what you're looking for. You don't speak as a establishment Democrat. These are our guiding value. Like these are what we do. Like you have ideas that are very intelligent, very neutral and independent ideas. And we've spoken about this on the show many times. I feel, especially in the state of Florida in particular, the Republican Party has also gone down that road of this is how we do things, that everybody better get in line. If you're not in line with this, if you're not in line with Trump and how this is X, Y, and Z, then you're out, right? Then they kick you to the curb. And the Democrats had that problem for a while. In particular, you saw it with Bernie Sanders, where it was like, we're not going with you, Bernie, because you're too extreme for us, and this is how we're playing it now, and you're not in line, so you're out, right? And they kicked him right out. It was totally fixed, that Democratic nomination. And it's so refreshing to see a candidate like yourself that it's like, listen, I just want things that are very neutral. I want to take care of all the citizens. I want to do this, and I think your campaign in particular, if anything comes from this campaign, it's like, these are you're like a perfect shining symbol for this is what we need. We need more candidates like this. Very neutral, very, I want to make everything better for everybody. And, and that's why I think you're having success. I've noticed your success growing. Honestly, I've noticed your success growing. And I think that, when you wake up every day and you obviously, you had such a great background in filmmaking, you're a mental health guy, what was it that sparked you that was like, I need to go and run for mayor? What was it that you just woke up one day and you're just like, this is what I need to do? Yeah,
I just felt like, I'm tired of just going down there all the time and just beating this drum of change. And I'm like, man, I'm going to be 80. Saying the same thing, right? So why not? And when I announced it, nobody gave me a chance. Not even, I won't say people in my family didn't believe in me. They just didn't believe in the city. Of even electing someone like me. Right. But I'm driven by God. I don't just jump up and do things. I got sober at the altar. After failed rehabs and all these things. So I know what the power of God can do. I tell you, the same God that brought all those miracles in the Old Testament is still working today. And when like my birthday is the day before Christmas, and I spent that week like praying because it was on my heart. Like we made the color cavalry, and then like before we can even start pushing it, and then God just like, yeah, mayor. I was like, yeah, no. You know, but I'm just praying and praying and praying because I'm pissed off about a lot, been pissed off about a lot in the city. But I was just like, hey, this is just the way it is. I just go down there, activism, or organize, whatever word you want to use, and then, you know, they undo the hard work and we play this, we do this song and dance all over until I'm just dead and gone, you know? Yeah. But that's not the way it was called forth to do it. And, you know, like a lot of people, they see me in 5-minute clips, you know, like I had, you know, gold in my mouth, hat on backwards. But I go down there and I fight the way I want because I want them to know, don't stereotype everyone. But that I never knew that they looked at me as some loudmouth that can just organize. And that's how they looked at me. And not just them downtown, people in my own community. And then everyone's like, man, you're evolving. I'm like, well, this has always been there. I'm not a 5-minute clip on Facebook, you know?
Right.
So I think when I started to really roll out my policies and how I wanted to do things, and then the way I started to cross over, everyone started paying attention, and which is a great thing because that's what mental health teaches you, working in this field. I remember one time I was in Neptune Beach, Florida. This lady wanted to die by suicide, and I was able to talk her out of it. We was behind closed doors. And then we just started talking about her problems. And she looked me square in the eye and she said, you know, Jermaine, can you believe my daughter, she was a white lady, and she was like, can you believe my daughter wants to date a black guy? And even, you know, and she was like, it's not even a Shamar. She said Shamar Moore. So, you know, she was older, so she said Shamar Moore. She was like, not Obama, Shamar Moore, it's 50 Cent kind of black guy, and he's in D.C.
Well, I guess it's better than Sharon Moore, the Michigan guy that was wearing a Michigan shirt.
Right?
Could be worse, I guess. Could be Sharon Moore and grab a kitchen knife.
That I would have had to step in with her. And say,
listen, you know.
But here's the thing: you learn that you're not in those spaces. You're not black. You're not male. You're not even Jermaine. You're just there to help someone. But that teaches you something that regardless they're a human being. If I see somebody that just got hit by a car, they could be neo-Nazi, they can be Republican, they could be Democrat. I'm not gonna say, sir, before I help you, what party are you with? You know, like it's just like somebody needs help.
Right.
And to me, like whatever people want to do, whoever they want to be affiliated with, their beliefs, I have my beliefs. But at the end of the day, it should not trump on their freedom. Yeah. You know, they should be able to live, love whoever they want. If I agree with it or not, that's between them and God. You know, because one thing, my favorite saying is, you know, I tell my son this all the time, you know, I'm going to come to your rescue, but I never stop God from being God. If he's trying to teach you a lesson, I can't continue to rescue you because he's trying to show you something that's going to help you out in the long run. So whatever anybody is doing, the best thing you could do is give them wisdom and guidance of what you know, what's rooted in you and what's right and what's wrong. But people have to live their lives. But that don't mean that if they're in need, if they're hungry or whatever, you don't step in. That's, like you said, that's evil. You know, because if you don't want to help someone based off your views not lining up, then whether their views are evil or not, your evil trump theirs.
Over prejudice. It's like people are just prejudiced. And that's what I started telling my kids. I go, they have to stop using the word racism and bring prejudice back.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Because when I was a kid, that was the word. Like people would say, that person's prejudiced. Because you could just be against somebody for any reason, and that's a prejudice. And that's what we need to start saying it again. Like, stop being so prejudiced and start really just valuing people as human beings. But I have to ask you this question.
Okay.
So I said leaders must be tested. Titles do not prove capability. Real challenges reveal character, judgment, and resilience. Now, you know you have to serve to lead. What was one core thing that happened in your life that really made you the man that you are today? I have to say, one thing from, knowing you of almost like 5 years now. When you took that trip to New York and you were, I love Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you, and I know that may shock you, but
No,
I
it doesn't.
love Malcolm X. I even had his picture
She's
on
a
my
big Malcolm X fan.
I am, because
fact.
he was a person who went through it and came out the other side
Right.
and was so devoted to God
Right.
and really believed in humanity, and I really believe that's why they killed him.
Yeah, no
because
doubt.
it's more dangerous when you're going to bring people together than be the person to divide them
Yeah.
and tear them
No,
apart.
absolutely.
So I know for me, I was like, wow, Jermaine really changed. Like I saw like an evolution in you, like a real. But I want to know, what was it for you that happens in your life that gave you that, like you're battle ready?
Addiction. Addiction let me know that, people can judge you off the color of your skin or party or whatever. We done went through the whole list, but nothing will judge you more than addiction. The stigma, when somebody hears like you're on drugs, it's like almost the worst.
And drugs do not discriminate.
And they do not discriminate, and there's so many factors that plays into addiction. And just going through it from people I love to completely strangers with that judgment. I mean, like, I'm not passing responsibilities because I did do some things that, but it's more so of people not looking beyond of what they can see, of the struggles of why. Nobody asks why. All they can see is, and it's a lonely thing. Addiction is a lonely thing. And it's always accompanied by suicide. Suicidal ideation is a heavy thing. Along with, can you imagine getting paid on a Friday, knowing that the rent is due, but something that is a disease has you go out there and spend all your money, and you wake up and you have nothing, and you're facing eviction, you're facing all this stuff. You want to die. You're tired of just messing up, and nobody wakes up and want to do that. So when you make it out on the other end of that, then 1 year of sobriety turned to 2 to 7. So now I'm going on 11 years and being named National Peer of the Year, taking over 1,000 suicide calls, leading hundreds to sobriety. Once I had addiction behind me, I was ready. Since addiction, I came out with a gospel album, and I went out on tour.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
unbelievable.
I had no idea.
Wow.
My rap name was Maine the Baptist.
Man,
It's on
All
iTunes.
right, all right.
And what
If I would have known, I would have had some of the songs
Yeah,
here.
we should have been playing
I'm
some too.
glad you didn't. And that was like I call that album the soundtrack to sobriety. And like I said, I've got sober at the altar, and I told God I was going to tell everybody. So I thought, making that album was keeping up my end of the bargain.
Yeah.
And then the documentary came. I had to change it with the same rap album name. And then that documentary won 4 awards around the world. And it's just like you stated, it was so perfect. Like, that made me battle tested, battle ready. But then from that to now was the prep. The films, the documentary, everything. You could just see one thing leading to another to another.
Yeah.
And I think when by the time I went, your boy, what was that? When did we go to see? When did we go up there for Malcolm X grave and the film festival? That was the end of last year, I want to say. So when that happened, I think you probably saw something that I didn't even see myself, because I had no clue I'd be coming back in I'm so tired of wearing shirts and ties.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look great. You look awesome.
But you're right. That was that's all I keep hearing this last year is evolution.
Yeah.
That everyone is just saying this evolution of you is beautiful. It's what I keep hearing. But it's almost like when you're on the diet and you're disciplined, when you look in the mirror every day, you're not going to see the pounds dropping off. But if someone who haven't seen you in 3 months, they're going to be like, you're on a diet? Or if you're in the gym and you're working out every day, you're not going to get stronger. But you're in the gym, and I think I can't see it because I'm too close, but people like you all who got that God view can see those things. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, one thing kind of just building off the last point that you were talking about, and was something that we've always talked about on the show, was the importance of service, right? Going out and volunteering and serving your community, I think is so important, because then it kind of gives you a different view of people. Because I think sometimes the people that don't do any service and just kind of sit at home and watch what's going on TV, or watch, from afar, or watch through Rex and stuff, and they've never actually gone into the community and actually helped people that are in need, you almost you get a false sense of what reality actually is. And, for you, obviously you've done a lot of service. You've been active in the community. So, tell me a little bit about, if you become mayor, what are some of the things you really want to push, especially for the youth? Because you've talked about a lot of, programs for the youth, getting the youth involved, doing things that are actually beneficial for the youth rather than just kind of letting them, off to their own devices. What would you say, for the youth in terms of service? What would your campaign, I guess, focus on?
Yeah, I just want to give them a better place to be rooted in.
Yeah.
Everybody here is, once they graduate, they're ready to leave here.
Yeah,
And
which is wild to me.
Yeah,
I really don't get it.
I wanted to keep that homegrown talent here,
Yeah.
but I want them to feel supported.
Right.
I definitely want them to feel supported. The juvenile justice says that 6 to 12 a.m., 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. is that hot spot of when people get in trouble and those bad things happening, especially in this economy when their parents are working 2 jobs. I'm working 2 jobs.
Yeah, me too.
And the rec centers here close at 5 or 6. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
And I feel like we don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's already great programs that's doing so much, but they just lack that funding.
Yeah.
So we can support them financially to have those operating hours. We don't have to go to 12 a.m., but maybe 10.
Yeah, 10 would
11,
be a good idea.
And then at some certain points, have midnight basketball league, midnight 7-on-7 flag football team.
Yeah.
Just outside
It'd be
the
cooler
box.
too.
Oh, yeah.
It would be much cooler because it's hot during the day in Florida.
Absolutely.
So I think a lot of kids would like it. I mean, one thing that I've noticed that I feel is a problem, there are not enough jobs for young kids. Like when I was young, nobody went to go work in fast food as a career. That was a job that regular teenagers got, and it was like your regular job after school. Yeah, you had a couple adults that might be there a while, but there were a lot of jobs for teenagers.
Yeah.
And now I see adults having to get these jobs because there's no jobs.
Yeah.
And it really upsets me so much because I'm like, what the heck happened to this country where it was like you were trained at school, you learned things, and it was like you were going to be better than your parents. This is the first time I feel that this generation might actually do worse than their parents just because the opportunities, the rich people are so greedy.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's how I feel. I feel
right.
like democracy, capitalism is like a social contract. That there is some kind of social contract that's involved where you don't get so greedy, where you're at Amazon and you make billions of dollars, but you're only going to hire people for 30 hours a week because you don't want to pay them health care benefits.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I used to work at Amazon.
Okay, yeah. So tell us the inside scoop.
Oh, man. I wanted to...
So you've been there. You felt it.
Oh, yeah. I was, when I was in Jacksonville, I opened up the first fulfillment center.
That's so funny because I was going to try to open a fulfillment center in Connecticut, remember?
You were, yeah.
And that's so funny. You actually opened one. I tried.
Yeah,
I filled
it
out
was-
the application. They rejected me.
Oh, really?
But it worked out because then I moved to Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, I'm glad it did. It didn't work out because, but yeah, I worked at Jack's 3. Oh, man. And that was hard because I was 4 or 5 years sober, but I didn't know I had mental health issues.
Right.
And so I've worked my way up out from the ladder to get a nice job, but then, the untreated symptoms start to rear their head and, it went south from there. But no,
Listen, you could be perfectly sane, and Amazon will make you insane.
Oh, no,
they treat their people like crap.
I was just
True.
about to pivot right back to that. It's working there. It's unreal. I don't know how it is today, but being timed to go use the restroom, and the restroom is like it's far.
Yeah, so you got to run.
You got to run, and then you have these little scanners, and they beep when you're taking too long, and then you could get rolled up. You could lose your job for taking too long at the bathroom. I remember one time the supervisor wanted to come because one guy was like, I had the number 2. Well, okay, let me go see. He wanted to go see it. And I was like,
wanted to check you out.
That's disgusting.
It was crazy. It was crazy. I learned a lot at Amazon. I learned how not to treat people.
Yeah.
That's what I learned at Amazon.
Yeah.
But and what made me want to quit every day, it wasn't that. It was calculating how much Bezos made per hour.
Well, that's what makes me so sick too, because this isn't how it used to be. Like sometimes my husband and I will like get into debates. I go, in the old days, the owner maybe got a house in the suburbs, but like my grandfather worked in a factory and he got to retire. He had a pension. Like everybody had a decent way of life. Everybody had a car. Everybody could buy a house. And he was working in a factory. Now, none of those factory jobs. I mean, I know people who were like Carlos's age. They work, let's say, at a store, like a tire store, something like that. And they're only given part-time hours, not full-time hours, because they don't want to pay them the benefits.
Yeah.
And it's like, when did this happen in our country where it is just like, it used to be normal. Like you got a job, you got benefits. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I think it's the Affordable Care Act.
I was gonna say there's a point in time that you can.
The thing is that the billionaires were in cahoots. They were in cahoots. It was the billionaires working. How can we collapse the system and get it where we can get people to work for us and we can keep more money, and then the taxpayer will pay for the insurance.
It's so unreal, and that's what makes me so mad is all of us at the bottom are fighting each other over stupid, petty ass this stuff that don't matter, and they keep us so distracted with each other.
Yeah,
like
100%.
We're fighting over $30 an hour job, and you're DEI or you're nepotism, and then these guys are getting fucking rich. I'm sorry. That's the only way you can say it.
There's no F word, Jermaine.
No, there's totally F word.
I'm an F word.
I'm an F word guy. It gets the point across. It gets the point across. Nothing else can.
It made me so mad. You know what?
It makes me so furious. How about when you hear that Elon got, what was it, $14 billion in subsidies from Ford, from GM?
Wow.
And my husband and I fought about it. I was like, no, it's wrong. It's crony capitalism. Yeah. That's not real capitalism.
Who made that policy?
And I feel like the government is in cahoots where the rich people are getting richer. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican. Those people, they swing back and forth. They're swingers, man. They're swingers.
Quite a few in D.C.
And they worship at the altar of Baal and the dollar.
Yeah.
And then the people like us are the ones who just want to have a good, decent life. We just want to raise our kids, have a family, go and get together for the holidays with our extended relatives, be able to walk down the street, let our kids go, ride our bike and not have to worry, right? And it's like, no, they're just trying to beat us down. They don't even want us to see a doctor. And it just really upsets me. And I feel like that's why the youth, I feel like almost like they've been MK Ultra to something in school. I don't know what's going on because I see the despair in them. I see the hopelessness. Yeah. And I feel like having a leader who actually really cares and really cares about the community and cares about the future and being innovative, that's what we need. We don't need more millionaires and billionaires.
No, we definitely don't.
We need more community-focused leadership.
Absolutely. And, that's everything you described. It's kind of Pensacola in a nutshell, but just really on steroids. Because it's really different how they do things here.
Yeah.
And, you have these few families that run the city, and the stuff they'll do if you get in their way. My mom's so worried every time I leave the house, because
tell her that God's going to protect you.
Yes.
Tell her that, you've been anointed. And be like, Mom, I'm sorry, I'm anointed. I have to do what I have to do.
She's a praying woman. Her prayers got me sober. Her and my grandmother's prayers got me sober. And you know how it is sometimes to pray and still worry. Especially as a mother.
I go to church every day. I have 3 sons and 1 daughter.
Right.
And let me tell you, there's one son in particular, I won't say his name, but I go to church every day praying for that soul because it is terrifying. Being a parent is...
Well, I will say, though, to you, he's going to be all right because I was that problem child. You know, my sister worked at the CDC. My brother was a store manager of a Fortune 500 company, and I could not get it right. I have like surpassed my siblings as something I thought I never would do, to becoming like not just my mom's like shining star,
You're gonna be the mayor.
but the family. Yeah, right. But
I have
the whole
anything to say
family.
You're gonna be the mayor.
Yeah. But that's what I always tell mothers all the time, seriously, is that just don't give up. Just don't give up, because is it a middle child? I'm a middle child. So
Well, because I'm curious, right? Because, you know, it's building on your point to, you know, the youth, right? We're getting the youth involved and working and things like that. There are a lot of the kids now. I feel like there are some out there that kind of just lack the, I don't want to say motivation, but like, you know, they just don't have like the same kind of drive that some people do. And like, what would you say, like, you know, in terms of getting the youth involved in the next steps of their lives? Like, what do we need to do to kind of change that pendulum and get, you know, the young people back into the workforce and get them motivated to get to those next steps in life?
yeah, I think we just need to listen to them. You know, because like that's what I learned also through sobriety. When I'm out as a mental health professional and advocate, I'm a big proponent of self-directed care.
Yeah.
When someone comes in and tell you how to get sober, it's not going to work. You have to invite them to the table.
Yeah.
You know, because what works for me not going to work for them, it's vice versa. So I think right now with this next generation, as we already laid it out how it is for them, we have to collaborate with them to kind of see because I don't know what it's like to grow up with everything on social media.
Yeah,
Some stuff,
I agree with you.
Some stuff that happened in my high school, the embarrassing things that I had happen to me, you know, you get in a fight, you get beat up, something like that. But if it was 1 million views on that possible,
It's
my
tough
God.
to come back from.
Yeah. You know, so I don't know what these kids are going through.
You're right.
But they're living through way more different times than we could only, you know, we when I was young, what they're going through, I just saw it on the Jetsons. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know,
Right.
in the future. But now I watch what my son goes through. And sometimes I watch his Instagram too much and I call him, I said, that's not a good post.
Oh, I've had that conversation as well.
Yeah.
You know, to me, what another big problem is, I don't like the legalization of pot. It drives me crazy. And I feel like when we were younger, right, in the 80s, like it was like, your body is your temple. You got to take care of it. Get fit, get strong, be healthy. And now so many of these kids are being talked into self-medicating all the time. And it's like, oh, well, you know, just pop a couple of gummies. It'll help you relax. It's all about self-medicating, dulling your senses, not feeling the pain and the growth that you need to go to become a good man or become a good woman.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is when things really started to take a turn.
Yeah.
Because it's just like things get bad, and rather than having the hurt, the pain motivate you, it's like, let me just dull it. I'm going to dull it.
You're owning something there, because especially like, you know, that I teach my clients, like, you know, before you know, go to that medical marijuana, let's do some coping skills, because, you know, they look at coping skills like, oh man, I could just smoke a blunt. No, coping
work.
skills. Yeah, it's
As
work.
work.
It's going
As work.
to teach you discipline.
Yeah.
It's going to teach you so much more, and it's going to bleed over to everything, you
Right.
know, because being dependent on anything is being dependent on everything. So.
I think, you know, building on that too, it's like when you're at work and you're working, you know, I mean, for me, like I work in an office and you like, I can't just, you know, decide, oh man, like I'm stressed out. I got to book, you know, X amount of interviews in the next 2 hours. Like, let me light up and get fucked up at my desk.
right.
And then I'll do it. Like, you know, you can't do that.
No,
So
at
it's
work.
like, but you know, like it gets the point across. But
It
like,
does,
there's so many people that like, they just feel like, you know, oh, like who cares? Like, I'm just going to do it because, you know, it makes me feel good. Or I'm just going to do it because, you know, like, I feel like we have a really bad mindset problem, especially in the younger generation. So like, what would you say like is something that Pensacola can do to help change those like mindsets?
I just think that we need what I'm like offering in my platform, which is the PDC, the Pensacola Directed Care. Same thing I was talking about, self-directed care, which helped me get my life back together. It's a statewide program, but it's only available in Fort Myers and Jacksonville. And what it does is it gets individuals sober if they need medication, because I was on medication my first 3 years of sobriety until I build up a work tool, a workbench, whatever word you want to use, that all your coping skills are stored in.
Right.
And I was able to learn the discipline instead of just going off on somebody, just breathing techniques, the five senses, whatever it may be. And so you can get a therapist, you'll be able to get a peer specialist, and then it comes with like an enhancement goal, enhancement budget. So if they have some, because study shows when someone is focused on the goal, they have a higher chance of completing to wellness. Right. And I think a lot of these things with these young kids are they have something to do with mental illness, like ACEs scores. I don't know if you ever heard of ACEs scores, but it's something to look up. Adverse child experiences, and it says single home, or if there was a murder, this or that,
Right.
and they add it up, and it predicts these things. And unfortunately, you don't have to experience like we did. You can open your social media app and see somebody get murdered right there on social media.
It's so true.
And so it's just like the way we are exposed to everything now makes everything heightened. Then, to your point, it makes like life goes down. The value of life goes down.
Totally agree.
Like it's a video game now. Like things. So we just have to reel it back in, And I think that because a lot of these kids don't like talking about their feelings either. And they got to learn that's normal.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that Giuliani did that was great. And he had the broken window theory, right? Which was, if there's a broken window, you got to fix it. And one thing that I feel that this mayor has done a terrible job doing is managing the trash.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have to be honest with you. When I first moved here, I never had a problem. It's leaf season, and I have bags sitting there sometimes 5 weeks in a row. And I know that there's some areas in East Hill, and let me tell you, that brings pests, it brings disease, it brings down the quality of life. Right. That is such a basic thing for the mayor to do. And I have to ask you, rather than redeveloping Palafox, where would your priorities be when it comes to basic municipal services?
Yeah, that first year,
It's a basic municipal service.
It's just cleaning. My first year is going to be cleaning up his mess.
Figuratively and literally.
Absolutely. There's a lot of good people that lost their job under his administration. A lot of people that kept the city going. The mayor is nothing more, the position, not the man, is nothing more than a executive director.
Yeah.
But when you're getting rid of people for one reason or another that has spent their whole life in this position, knowing like the back of their hand, and you go get your buddy you went to college with or some guy or whatever, he's good at this, he can do that, and then that leads to...
Well, don't you think it's working out great in the White House? I mean, look at how Trump brought all these wonderful people in. And it's just like crazy insider trading.
Absolutely.
We're at war. It's like,
buying
it's
private
disgusting.
Islands.
It's like, I thought that we grew out of that like old boys network. Like I really thought we evolved.
Right.
Into putting whoever was best for the job in the job, building a team where it's like, you know what, we're gonna have all different kinds of opinions, bring them together because that's gonna give us the best product. When did this start, this mentality in this country again? Well, I guess, I mean, I don't know, but all I know is that I think it's disgusting. And I see the deterioration. I see it at a national level, and I see it at a local level.
Absolutely. Like even on our side of the tracks over there on East Street, my aunt is so frustrated with the trash. That retention pond that's behind us, the gate breaks every other day, so that brings in all that wetland kind of, water bugs, and it's just so much that, and the morale, the working class morale in the city of Pensacola is at an all-time low. Everything is at a low there. I want to tell you some priorities that I would like to be at, but I think that first year is going to be just like patching up holes, making sure that the basic things that's supposed to run without blinking is back at that space, to where like when you know if I say your trash is going to get picked up on this day, you don't have to just come open your trash to make sure, because that happens a lot. Even the little stuff like parking downtown.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Like,
Yeah, that was a huge change.
Yeah.
It really, I feel like, and this is, I work downtown, right? So, and I started working there 2 years ago now. I've been there for 2 years. And the decline of how many people are actually going downtown now is huge.
Yeah.
Like it's big. And his big thing is like trying to get people to go downtown. It's big tourism downtown. The tourism and people hanging out downtown has never been lower. Honestly, as somebody who's there every weekend, it's low. Like, I mean, I get cut most Friday nights because they're just like, we can't, you come in late because you're working your other job on Fridays, and we can't pay you because it's just we're going to be under. So it's like for somebody who's so sole focus is developing downtown, and then you take away the free parking, which everybody loved. You remove the parades on Palafox Street, which I think is just an outrageous idea. Like, why would you take that off of the main road?
I don't know.
It's so unreal. Like, one thing I could say about Pensacola, my cousins live in Atlanta. I lived in Jacksonville. Lived different places, visited. Nobody does Martin Luther King parade like Pensacola. It's just like amazing. We always look forward to it when we was young. It's 3 to 4 hours long. It's great, and then we're hanging out downtown afterwards. I haven't been to a King parade in years, but I went this year because I just announced my candidate.
Right.
And when we were there and I'm waiting, we're walking and we're about to hit the corner of people, I'm pumped. And I looked, no one was really there. And I was like, goodness. And I was like, what happened? I was like, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
not the same.
And that was on Jefferson, wasn't it?
Right.
That change. I don't know who. I mean, obviously it was because they ripped it up. But now that it's completed, he was like, "Yeah, we're going to keep it on Jefferson Street," and that's
what a flop.
That's craziness.
It's
I
so crazy.
don't
Yeah.
like.
It's so
Why would
crazy.
you do that? For somebody who's so focused on bringing people downtown, Palafox is downtown. It's
is.
our version of Bourbon Street.
Right,
That
for
is
sure.
the street. That is what you go to. Where do you you go to hang out on Palafox Street? So now you're taking the whole center of downtown. You're moving it. You're complete. It's just.
It's such a drag because
It's common sense.
Like I did not, and I can imagine everybody like I don't have the money to go to Martin Luther King parade because I can't afford to park.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a forum today. That was my first stop at Seville Quarter, and I really thought about if I wanted to go or not because I didn't feel like dealing with parking.
I can't tell you how many seniors stopped going downtown. The senior citizens, because I'm sorry to them, the iPhone.
Oh my God.
They're not using the iPhone to pay for parking, and they're just like, I don't even bother going downtown because I can't deal with the
100%.
parking.
Yeah.
And I'm
100%.
like, well, maybe. And they're like, no, I don't need that aggravation. I'll go to like the Olive Garden, and they used to go downtown all the time.
100%.
And I'm like, you know what? If you live in the city of Pensacola, like if you're a resident and you're paying more taxes than Escambia County, at least give every citizen of Pensacola who pays more in taxes a sticker that says, you know what? You pay more taxes. You're a resident of the city. You get to park for free.
Yeah.
At least do something for these seniors that built up the city.
No, for sure.
And it's just like, if you don't like it, too bad. It's $2. Get over yourself. And it's like, get over yourself. Who made you king?
And you know what's even terrible is that, and it depends what's going on because they can hike that thing up at
They can.
any time.
Exactly.
And they pay. People have bought the lots too now. So like a lot of those parking lots are purchased, and that's a privately
Private lot.
owned. And then they could just charge you whatever you want. So like the lot behind Global where I work, it's like if I want to park there for 2 hours, it's $5.35.
Wow.
To park for 2 hours in that lot.
Wow.
And it's
And
like,
if you're
and
a
then
teenager,
and
you
then
don't have five.
If you're a minute late for leaving, they'll send you a parking ticket for $80.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So like the other day,
Yeah.
I called again because we went to watch the World Cup, the final at Top 200, and I parked there, and I paid for 4 hours of parking. Well, we came back. The parking ended at 4:25. I got in the car and drove away at 4:35. They sent me a ticket for $83 because I was there for 10 minutes over my time.
That's crazy.
They sent me a ticket for, and I called them. I was like, I'm not paying this ticket. Like I was like, we'll go to court. I'm not paying this ticket. Yeah, I was there 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, well, you've paid us enough tickets. Like we're good.
Wow.
You
And-
paid
but,
us enough tickets
they
because
were
you
like,
work
because I
downtown.
work downtown and I can't even park in the lot that I work at. I have to park across the street and walk across Balin Street at the Hancock Whitney in the back because we can't park in our own work lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that's banana land.
And he was so upset with me. Yes, I pissed him off a lot
Yeah.
yesterday.
Well, he pisses me off, so good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you pissed him
I
off.
pissed him off a lot because I'm going to be honest. Because like, again, I'm not a politician. I just don't say things so it could sound good. Like I wasn't listening to nobody answers. Like I gave my answer and whatever.
Good. That's what you should do.
You know, 'cause
100%.
I'm just over it. Like, we're doing 8, 9 forms. Like I told Treywick, me and Treywick, we joke, and I'm like, man, I know your policy better than you do now. And I know what she's gonna say. I know, and just vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's tired of hearing mental health worker of the year, but that's what it is. But then I start to hear, I was like, man, sounds like Mayor Reeves is really taking a dig at. Oh, there's another one. Oh, he's getting his revenge from McGuire. He was digging and digging at me. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I have the experience to where, like, especially in debates, when you want to make a big splash, it always will come to you if you're prepared. Don't step out there and force it because it's not going to land. And again, trusting God, trusting your instincts and stuff. And they asked that question about the police. And it just happened that it was my turn right after his. And that's where that clip came from. And then they asked about parking. I mean, you could see the steam coming out of his ears after all my answers, after I caught wind of what was really going on. Then I was like, I woke up and I started locking in. And they asked me about parking, and I said, well, I feel like I got enough, so many tickets, I done pay for a fire truck, and, and I'm making these jokes, and people are laughing, and he is not happy.
Yeah.
And I think I've learned a new pastime this year, and that's pissing off DC Reeves, and it's a ball. It's so fun. Because he's easy to, and that's the thing, I'm not going to say I dislike him as a guy, because I don't, because he's a big Florida State fan. And
He is a big Florida State guy.
I'm a Florida State fan too, but I still don't like DC
I'm going to
Reeves.
send you this. I'm going to send you this video, right? Do you listen to War Chant?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Who doesn't?
Okay, cool. So did y'all hear the episode? This was a while ago where they was talking about DC Reeves.
No, I didn't hear that.
So he used to work at War Chant, and they was talking about how Jimbo Fisher hated DC Reeves because he always asks a question that someone else already asked. And Jimbo was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And they spent 2 minutes just dogging on Reeves.
Right.
And then I guess they felt bad. They was like, well, I guess it worked out for Reeves. He's the mayor of Pensacola. But, so like that's when y'all saw us talking before McGuire's. We were talking about Florida State and all that. So I don't think he's a bad guy. I feel bad for him because I just think that he was groomed for this.
Yeah.
And this might not be what
100%.
he really wants to do.
He strikes me as a guy that I don't want to say he doesn't care, but like you could tell with some of his answers, he's just not very informed on what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Because the way that he was so like, we're going to put a curfew in for the youth and we're going to arrest and we're going to either take you home or we're taking you to jail. Like the way he was so determined on that answer.
Yeah.
And then it's like, But the guy who shot the people would not have fit in that curfew window. Like, you're clearly just not very informed on the situation. You just don't, and I hate being like, you just don't care, but it's like, you just don't give a shit. Because it's like, you would have known that the guy who shot people were 21 years old. Like, you would have gave it, like, you would have knew. So it's like, you can't go and say, oh, we're going to arrest the youth. Right. But then it wouldn't have arrested the guy that actually shot people. It's like, you just don't care.
You're right. No, absolutely. And, here's the thing. I honestly think what happened was he came in very overconfident. They did not expect much from me.
Yeah.
And
anybody.
Right. And then it's just like football. You look over Georgia State, and next thing you know, you're in a dogfight in the fourth, and your heart is gone. Like, I think once I punched him in the mouth, he never recovered. When I said something about House Bill 803, talking about the permits, he was done. He didn't want no more. So he was just answering questions to get the hell out of there.
100%.
And I've even heard from inside the city hall, one of the top people were saying, Jermaine's a stronger candidate than what we prepared for. But it's too late now because it's late in the fourth.
Yeah, and it is late in the fourth.
And since you got that Michigan shirt on,
always go blue.
I feel like Appalachian State about to block that field goal.
I can't believe that comment right there. So one of the commenters, Scott Villa, shout out Scott Villa.
What's up, Scott?
He asked if you would consider ever working with DC.
Nah.
No?
Nah. But you never know. As of right now, I don't think so. One thing I hear a lot on campaign is that people like, it's like they're prepping me to lose, and I'm like, I'm not losing. And even if it don't turn out the way I wanted to on the 18th, I'm still not losing,
Well, you know what I want to know what kind of team you're going to build. Because I know that you have an idea in mind. And that's what I'm excited about, because good leaders always put together a good team. Yeah. And they're not afraid to relinquish control and let good people take the ball and run with it.
The team is
so can you give us any insight?
Any tasters? Not yet.
Because I know it's going to be a great team.
I like that.
It's going to be really good.
Because you know the city. You know the city, you know the people, and I know you're going to be bringing back that Pensacola strong, positive attitude where it's going to be people first.
Yes.
Not money first.
And the people that got let go in this last 4 years, I want them back. Great workers.
Well, think about the garbage. Just think about the maintenance. Like, you did such a great job letting people go that now trash is sitting there for weeks, DC.
Absolutely.
Use your head.
Yeah. And to Scott's question, it's not like I can't work with him. I think I'd be too nervous. I've been beating up on this man and his family verbally for years, especially this year. Now, I don't want them to know where I'll be,
but that's normal though. I feel like in politics, that's normal. I mean, Kennedy for a while was talking trash about Trump, and then Trump brought him in as the health secretary. He was like, he's like, listen,
but look at what happened to JFK. Right? He used to talk trash about the guy who was his vice president. I can't remember his name, and then he probably was the one responsible for killing him.
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson. Oh, yeah. That's
so,
true.
I mean, sometimes you got to be careful. Sometimes it's good just to surround yourself with your people and be like, this is my vision, and I want to work with these people, and this is my team, and that's what we're going to do.
Well, one thing I'm always reminded, this is the city of Willie Jr.,
Oh.
And I just, this is not a... wow, anything goes here, and anything can be covered up here. So, because a lot of people's like, DC will be a fool not to bring you into the administration if he walks away with a win. And I don't think I would, I think I go I'm a week before the election, I'm flying out to Arizona to close on $1.25 million for suicide prevention money for the state of Florida. And, of course, that'll come with a director's position. Oh,
wow. So you're going to Arizona to collect for Florida? That's awesome. That's really fantastic. That's just curious.
Awesome.
That's cool. So you got to go. Are you going to Phoenix, I assume, or
Phoenix,
Scottsdale?
Phoenix, Tempe.
Tempe. Okay, yeah.
Gotcha. I've never been out there, but it says downtown Phoenix / Tempe. I don't.
Yeah, they're literally right next to each other. Yeah, so they're very close.
Whenever I go out of town, I never leave the hotel.
Really?
Yeah, I went to speak at Rutgers University.
Piscataway.
I didn't leave.
You weren't missing much, dude.
Everybody
New
kept
Jersey's
saying
a dump.
there
You're
was
not missing anything.
Listen, be careful in Cambridge. Like, that's all I kept hearing, and I was like, well, I'm not leaving. And then even when I went to, as of recent, to get the Peer Specialist of the Year award,
right.
I didn't really leave the hotel in Denver. Now my son did. He had a ball, but I'm always working on something. So I don't want to leave.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm the exact opposite though. I'm like always like, let's go out, like let's go get dinner, let's get out of the hotel.
He's a good time, Charlie. He's always looking to party, and sometimes they get so mad at me in my house. I'm like, come on, results matter. We gotta get some stuff done. And they're
come
like,
on.
You been to Arizona?
I've not been to Arizona. I've not been to Arizona. I recently was in Houston. Went to Houston for the first time. That was my first time ever in Texas. I've never been to Texas. That was my first time.
It's hot as hell in Texas.
It's hot. It's hot.
I used to work out there on the oil field. I'll never do that again. But I wonder how far I'd be from the Fiesta Bowl. I like to go check that out. Man. I don't know.
I don't blame you.
But I have to say, Jermaine, results matter.
Dry heat, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dry heat. I'm sorry. Results matter.
Results matter. And I think that you bringing back over $1 million to the state of Florida says a lot.
That's a result.
Yeah, that's a result.
Big one.
I appreciate that. And I'm just really happy to do that because
I don't think that you you toot your own horn enough.
No.
Because you have a lot of projects that show so much leadership skills, and
Totally.
I think you're very humble. You're very humble, and I have to say I really respect that too.
I
but when you're running
that.
for office, you have to be a little.
You got to toot your own a little bit.
Well, you know where that comes from, though, and I don't think that's all on me because it's just. And this is a bad thing. It's not a great thing, but when you have taken away from society as much as I have in addiction, I can live to be 70, going hard, paying my dues back, and I don't think I never give enough. It's my duty to replace what I've taken out from this world. I got a lot to answer for. I ain't killed nobody or nothing, but I just feel like, 14, 13 years of addiction was terrible for me. And I still think about some of the things, like my grandmother has been gone. She's the centerpiece of my life, based off of, just going through those things. She's seen some of the worst from me. And she was here for a long time through my sobriety. Got a chance to see me do some great things, but that's not enough. So I feel like I have to continue to make society way better than what I found it or what the bad that I put out. And, and sometimes you just don't take credit for that. You're just making your wrongs right.
And that's why you're a public servant.
Thank you.
So, honestly, that's
the true definition.
Yeah, it's the true definition of a public servant. It's like I can never do enough to give back to the community and take care of the community, and that's what we need. We need that's what we need. We need somebody to be in office that's like, I work for you. I want to benefit you. Right. You are my client.
Yeah,
and I think that people miss that in office.
And I think that people. It's been missed so long. People don't even believe me when I say it.
Yeah, they don't. They don't because they'll say it on the campaign trail and be like, "I want to do this, I want to do that," but then at the end of the day, it's like I'm going to raise your taxes and then you're going to pay for parking.
Right. Yeah,
and it's crazy. Like, really, it sounds like I'm working for you, brother. Like that's what it sounds like. And then we're going to take in all this revenue, and then we're not going to light the fireworks off downtown on New Year's Eve for the people downtown that we used to do.
Oh yeah,
and we're going to take that away.
You know
and
what?
You have to go to the beach.
I really miss the Pelican drop.
Yes, I was going to say the Pelican drop. People miss that.
I'm bringing it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back right there, right on the show. Breaking it, man. He's gonna bring it back. People miss the Pelican drop because they come into Global. That's our biggest night of the year is New Year's Eve at Global Grill. We're always super slammed, and people always say every table is like, "Man, we missed the Pelican drop. It used to be right outside. It was right there, and people would be coming and having fun, and everybody would love it. Like it was a big deal.
Well, it brings the community together.
Yes.
It's those little things that bring the community together that you get to celebrate.
Yeah,
we need more of that.
Trashed it.
Yeah.
That.
It's so crazy. And it was ours, Pelican.
Yeah.
Dropping.
Right.
Like,
it's
New
cool.
York has the Big Apple.
Yeah, the big ball.
Atlanta got the peach. We have the Pelican. Let it drop on a new year.
That's awesome,
I find
man.
him to be very short-sighted because,
Completely
if he
short-sighted.
made New Year's Eve a big deal, think about all the people who would say, you know what, let's go to Pensacola, we'll get a hotel room, we'll go out to dinner, we'll make a weekend out of it. He's so short-sighted. We don't do anything great like that. I feel that before he was mayor, we did have the New Year's Eve. We had the great parades. And I feel like every year, anything that's for the community is kind of going by the wayside.
Slowly
and you know
dips
what?
away.
It's not just him. Because, about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, me and El Rico was working, and actually I was working under El Rico.
Shout out Rico.
Shout out El Rico. He was doing, right when we got the Blue Wahoos, he wanted to do Blue Wahoo Week.
Yeah.
And it was just like, he was swinging for the fences. You know how he is.
Yeah, El
He
Rico,
was
he's-
swinging
yeah.
for the fence.
That's his move.
Yeah,
And
he's
it
fantastic.
was an amazing festival. He was talking about Stevie Wonder here and this and that. And I was like, and we had the money for it because it was right after the oil spill.
Right.
So we went around
Yeah.
pitching every single, and I'm like, you don't pass on nothing like that. That's something that people will come and visit Pensacola for.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the kind of outside the box thinking that we need.
Totally agree, 100%. I mean, you know, like to everybody's point, you need community events that bring everybody loves the Blue Angels because everybody goes to the beach. That is like, that is what you do. That is the week. Everybody goes to the beach. You're proud to be in Pensacola. You're proud to be the home of the Blue Angels. People go and party all week. My friends fly down. Like, it's a huge deal. You create more events like that. That increases tourism. That increases reasons to come to Pensacola and hang out for a week and go downtown. Like, you need things like that. And he's short-sighted about a lot of things, to your point. Like, it's just not.
He got upset yesterday, I think, because you know you could just you weren't allowed to clap yesterday, and that was a Republican forum, and they asked specifically with the Bay Center, what would you do with the Bay Center?
Right, he's a hockey hater, that guy. He is.
And
He's
you
a
know what I
hockey hater.
said? I told him, I said, you know, one of the big things I would love to do with the Bay City Bay Center, after we get it together and get it where it needs to be state of the art, during the Blue Angels weekend, we have the Blue Angel Classic every year, preseason basketball, where UWF plays other armed forces school.
That'd
at
be
the
cool.
Bay Center.
Oh,
And
my
then-
gosh.
That'd be really cool.
Love
and
that.
you invite two schools from
Yeah.
the ACC, the SEC, the MAC.
Yeah, you do like a little
USA.
tournament. Yeah, preseason tournament.
And it's right there during the week of the Blue Angels
Oh,
week
that
to
would
give
be
you
fantastic.
people something to do.
That would be really cool.
And you know, it's just outside the box thinking that just drive up revenue where you don't have to have every citizen pay for park and stuff like that will pay for itself.
100%. I mean, they do that at the Wahoo Stadium. They do. The Florida State team comes and plays baseball games at the Wahoo Stadium, and I know they're bringing a bunch of teams this year. I think I saw there was at least 4 or 5 games with 2 different schools coming and playing at the Wahoo Stadium.
For sure.
That brings in revenue. That
Brings
sells
in
out.
revenue.
People come and watch that. So that's a great idea to have. I just.
And people love the ice flyers.
People love the ice
You
flyers.
go to an
I
ice
love
flyer
that. I
game,
love-
it's
yeah.
packed.
It is
people
packed.
love
And it's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
I
And
don't even know what's going on in hockey. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I'm cheering,
Yeah.
but it is a blast. It is so
watch
fun.
a game with my husband. He's the hockey guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
and so
break it
is
down.
Carlos. But oh my gosh, I never watched hockey either. And we started dating, and I love the Devils, the New Jersey Devils.
My team,
Shout out to the Devils.
my team is the Florida Panthers. I've never seen
Oh,
them
there you
play,
go.
but I celebrate when
That's
they win.
my son, the one that I pray for.
Yes.
That's his favorite
Yeah,
team,
that's-
the Rat Pack.
What did he used to call it? His idol team. Remember that was what he used to call it? It was like, that's my idol team, the Panthers. Well, I went to the Panthers just put up an unbelievable practice facility, like right in downtown Fort Lauderdale, and it's like a community center. They have like a ton of like activities. It's like a rec center with 2 different rinks in it. It's an unbelievable complex, and like that's one thing that gets me really frustrated too. Is you have a lot of people that could contribute to the community here, including Greg Harris, who's the owner of the Ice Flyers. This guy. He doesn't help out the youth organization at all. I coach with the youth hockey here. He doesn't help the youth organization at all. He will, you need to be able to, you need to get these people to give back to the community. I think the more people that give back and actually contribute, the community is going to get so much better. And it'll grow the game too. It's just, I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing is we got to get people to serve and give back to the community. That is so huge.
Yeah, and you know, just even small things like why not a Dave and Buster's and Top Golf here?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Why is it in Mobile and it's not here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because like these kids want to do mall takeovers that it's arcades in there. So let
Yeah.
them go just
Thank
have at
you.
it or, you know, hit a golf ball or whatever. Why does this city have to be so dead? No one is saying let's make it the new Atlanta. But why not just give these kids something else to do besides like clogging up places where, like downtown and making it, how.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's have another restaurant or bar that's unaffordable for regular people.
Oh, my
because
God.
I don't have $300-$500 just
Yeah.
to go have a couple of cocktails.
This is crazy.
And then
Right.
you know what? Let's bring in a casino because that would really bring great vibes
Yeah.
to Pensacola. That's like the antithesis of
Yeah.
Pensacola. Pensacola to me, I could feel the Holy Spirit. I literally feel it. There are days I'm walking and I could see the way that people. Bringing in a casino, I'm like, what is this guy, Potter from Pottersville? And
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life?
Right.
It's to me, I'm sorry, it's going to bring negative vibes.
It is. Oh no, definitely it is. I don't like the way the city is going, and that's one reason why I jumped in this race to at least say, when it goes bad, and I could say, well, I tried, all I could to stop it, and I mean all I could, because it's one thing to run for mayor, but it's another thing to work 2 jobs, have a son, closing on $1 million on suicide prevention, and then knock on every door, make policies, don't miss a form, do great podcast interviews like this one. Like, I have not been asleep in a very long time. I've gotten a lot skinnier. I haven't ate. It's like balls to the wall. I've gave it my all. That's why, no matter what happens on the 18th, I know that I did all I can. And like I said, when you feel like that God has called you to do it, you don't do anything that he called you to do, and you answer that call. You don't half step. You don't quarter step. You give it everything. And I've given it everything. And I'm prepared for all 3. I'm prepared to go to November. I'm prepared to be mayor-elect, and I'm prepared to get my life back. But either way, we're going to have a big party on the 18th. I hope y'all be there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
That'd
yeah,
be great.
for sure.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's gonna
great.
be
Well,
fun.
listen, we're 20 minutes over, but I want to give you one last chance. Like, just tell everybody why we hitting why we voting for Jermaine. What is your final, like, this is why we got to go Jermaine Williams.
My husband said, get this guy a meal.
I'm on board, Scott. I am on board. Well, I think we covered most of it.
Yeah.
I think we covered most of
Yeah.
it. It's just pretty much putting the human touch back in Pensacola.
I love it.
Community. That's what been missing. We used a lot of words to say what's been missing, but I just want that community back here so bad. We can go around this table and ask, well, when the last time was it? We'll throw around different years, but it's been far too long, no matter what
agree.
year you say.
Yeah.
And, and the way you do that is just getting in touch back with the people. I think that the people needs to dictate to the government how they want things to go, not the local government saying it's my way or the highway. Don't let the door hit you.
Exactly.
Love it. I love it, man. I love
voting
it.
for Jermaine.
Well, shout out Jermaine. Thank you so much, man.
This
We
was
appreciate
fun.
this. I'm so glad. We had such a great conversation. We were just
was.
rolling.
Yeah.
It was great. I
I
loved
could
it.
have been here another 3 hours. No
Me
lie.
too.
Yeah, I was feeling good. This was awesome, man.
I
This
could
is-
have too, because
this is
it's
great.
so nice to talk to somebody who has a brain. I have to be
Yes.
honest with you.
Yes,
Thank you.
100%.
And you know what? I didn't even get a chance to even talk about the film commission I want to bring here. So,
My gosh.
maybe
We're
Another
gonna have
wonderful
to have
thing.
him on
Yeah,
again.
you're gonna have to come
We're
back
gonna have to come on
on.
again.
Yeah.
We'll get you back on after you go and get your award, and we would love to have you back on because I'm a big fan. I think that there's a serious problem going on where I feel like there's almost an attack on men right now,
Yeah, I agree.
and allowing men to be men and go through the experiences of a man. And I feel like we really need people to be like, hey, man, like, it's all right to go through X, Y, and Z. It's all right to power through. It's all right to get help when you need help. Like, we need that message going out more because it's so overlooked by whatever issue the mainstream media wants to decide to push out or social media wants to decide to push out. It's never like, hey, like, let's focus on this, right? So I'd love to have you on again and chat with you more about that. And
I hope our next interview is live from the mayor's office.
that would be
that would be
unbelievable.
so awesome.
That'd be
what the
live
link
from
would
City
be.
Hall.
Yeah.
That'd be
what?
unreal. That'd be a great time.
And then, we could do it once a month.
That would be great.
That would be really
Is
good.
that, what was it? Fireside chats. That was the FDR thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fireside chat
Fireside
with
chat.
Jermaine.
Yeah,
for FDR.
Yeah, because you know what? Like, see, we're gonna go longer. When you bring up FDR, man,
Yeah.
I don't think he gets the credit at like how he saved this country.
Oh,
at one of
big
the
time.
roughest times,
Yeah.
and all the things that he he's done with those, what was it, 12 years?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, man, he really did good. That's just one president that I felt robbed that I didn't learn more about in school.
Well, I grew up right next to the FDR Drive.
Oh, really?
So I learned all about FDR. That was always one of my favorite presidents.
They hammered FDR hard when I was in school. That
Oh,
was,
really?
It was a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
hammering
Let me
of
tell you-
FDR. Huge.
My grandmother loves my grandmother. Of course, she's passed on, but you know she's older. She's always loved and admired FDR and Lincoln. And we were watching Family Feud, and Steve Harvey asked the question, "What president would look good in the Speedo?" And I hear her scream out from the back, "Franklin D. Roosevelt." I'm like,
Really?
I don't know about that, Granddad.
Before or after the chair? Before or after the
I
chair?
didn't even want to know. Yeah, but she loved him. She
Yeah.
loved him, and I never understood. And man, Netflix has an amazing three episode documentary on him. It's so
They've been
good.
making so many documentaries on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's unreal. They make a documentary for anything. It's
Yeah.
like they can make a 3-episode documentary about you going and buying a bag of chips
Well,
from like
this
Publix.
the new stuff
It's
they're
for
putting
real.
out with FDR. They have a good one on Abraham Lincoln. Oh my God, it's so good.
Really? Okay.
Ulysses S. Grant was another one that
Yeah.
was really good
He's a
because
good
you hear about RFK, JFK, the popular ones. I want to hear about like Garfield. That was a crazy story as well. So learning more about these presidents that don't get to shine.
Yeah.
What they going
Who is
through.
it? Who's a legend that they don't talk about? Is Taft. I like Taft. Taft's cool. He's a cool guy. No love for Taft at all.
That's one of those presidents you hear in passing.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah,
Cool,
Taft, whatever.
What
Taft.
Taft? Oh, that was a
Yeah,
president.
that was a
they named
president
after that
from
school.
forever ago. It's like, who gives a shit about that guy?
But you know what, though? He looked like he was a pretty fly guy.
He
'Cause
did. He was
had the
he
tailor.
had the pocket watch too.
pocket watch.
He's a big guy. He ate
Yeah.
well. He's
Yeah,
like, oh, it seems like a cool guy to hang out with, have a cigar and talk crap. Like that would have been a lot of fun. No, I love it. I love it. Well, hopefully we'll be doing fireside chats live from City Hall. That would be a great time.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
That would be dope. And then we can do it under the umbrella of the city of Pensacola.
That's right.
Like,
That'll look cool.
tag teaming with
We got to
you
change
guys.
that logo back from that garbage logo that he made, the new Pensacola or whatever.
gosh.
Yeah,
Don't even
yeah,
get us-
yeah. We will not turn Pensacola into Aldi's. We're gonna get it back.
Yeah.
You know what
Thank
I
you.
like to
Please,
see come
for
back?
Christ's
Thank
sake.
you.
I would love to see the Five Flags come back.
Yes.
Yeah, the Five Flags
Yeah.
would be
I love
awesome.
that.
That
I would
I
love to
totally
see the Five
agree with
Flags
that.
come back.
I totally would love that.
Yeah.
Pelican drop, Five
'cause
Flags.
I
Yeah.
keep telling my son, I feel like Mama should be the slogan everywhere. Make America moral already. So he
Yes.
made me a
Oh, I
shirt.
love that.
And I feel like Pensacola, that's what, like, I always felt like Pensacola was moral. Like everybody kind of loved each other. I just felt such a good vibe. That mayor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, DC Reeves does not have the love in his
But
heart
I will
to be running a city that.
Agreed.
No.
Agreed. But I have to say, I still feel that love though in Pensacola.
Yes,
I
yes,
do.
yeah.
With the citizens, I do feel it, and
Yeah.
that's why I
But it's
honestly
not
feel
coming
that
from the top.
But
We're gonna have
there's
it-
a sense of fear from DC because I agree with you. I think when you were able to answer those questions at McGuire's, and you had like, these are how we're going to address X, Y, and Z, and these are going to be better for the community, and we're going to take care of the community. When you gave those
Innovation,
solid
too.
answers and you were innovative, like it was like holy shit, like and people like were like, oh man, this guy's like acting like he knows what he's talking about.
Listen,
Like, people came
it's
running up to
because
you.
of
Yeah.
you.
Like,
I
seriously.
was sitting there, and the only person, because you're tall as
Yeah.
hell, and the only person I could see was you, and you were going.
Like I
was
think
like,
it was a
I'm
real
doing
shock.
it.
Though.
Yeah,
I think he was really shocked. Like he was
He
like,
was.
fuck, like like
He was.
I would have to debate this guy.
Well, he sounded like an idiot.
He
One minute
did.
he's like, we need to put in a curfew. That's what we're going to do.
Yes.
And we're going to arrest them. And then they're going to talk to the parents. And then we're going to arrest them again. And
Yeah.
it's like, who are you, the Gestapo?
Exactly.
Like, well, what are you thinking? To me, that is
Absolutely.
a horrible answer.
Yeah.
And you could tell he had the hometown crowd because any place else, he probably would have gotten booed for that answer.
Yeah, and, well, here's the thing too. Not to beat up on Michigan, but they look they looked like the Michigan crowd at the Appalachian State. They looked like they were in complete shock.
Yeah.
They
It
could
was-
not believe what they were watching.
The Michigan State game was the real bad one when they blocked that punt.
that punt. Oh,
They
my
blocked the
God.
punt and
Oh,
they
my
ran
God.
it in, and that was that was a
pretty-
really bad
You know
game.
what was another bad game? Florida State.
Florida, which
in the
one?
Orange Bowl.
In the Orange Bowl, but
Yeah.
but that's Jordan Travis. That's a whole. That's a
Oh,
whole
no,
different thing.
that was the one with Never mind. We could talk off
Yeah,
air
we'll
about
talk about that.
But I will say this last thing to your point. When you talk about Five Flags and everything, I believe these last 3 mayors let our history get away from. When I explain to these kids that we're older than St. Augustine, I'm shocked that they're shocked.
Yeah.
You know, like that's one thing we need to boast on.
100%.
Like we are a old city. We lead the way for America because we were the first one.
Exactly.
You know, and all of that has gone away. The city of Five Flags, the culture, you just seen it minimized. So now you're just like, oh yeah, Pensacola, Aldi logo. You know, it's just.
That's why my husband always wanted to move to Florida. And I was like, I will never move to Florida because my aunt lived in Miami. So when I was a kid, my mother used to ship us to Miami and it was hot. We'd have to go fishing at like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was horrible. So I said, you don't understand, Scott, Florida's hell on earth. I discover Florida, Pensacola. And what I loved about it was the city of Five Flags. I said, Scott, this is like New York City. It's so diverse because that's how New York City is. You had the Dutch. You had a lot of people from Sweden come. You had, it wasn't just one group of people. And what I loved about Pensacola, I said, I love that it's a Spanish colony. And it has a lot of, I have to say, because my mom is from Puerto Rico. Well, she's from Brooklyn, but my family's from Puerto Rico. It has a little bit of a Puerto Rican vibe in it.
It does.
And it's because it's such a melting pot.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I'm like, Pensacola's so great. And you're right, that they're trying to get rid of that diverse, like, heritage. And
Well, they're trying to erase history.
what was it, like whitewashing? I
They're
don't know, what
they're
would you
trying
call
to,
it?
yeah, whitewashing. They're trying to
Yeah.
erase history.
Definitely.
They
And
want to
that's-
turn it into Miami.
but
When
that's-
or like, you know, what is it, West Palm?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, I don't think so. This is Pensacola.
Right. And I think we can modernize it but keeping it our core identity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moving forward without losing ourselves.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right, well, I think that was good. Any final thoughts, Coach?
No, I'm so happy. I am going to be praying for Jermaine so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely.
And I'm going to tell everybody that I talk to, you got to vote for Jermaine Williams. And if I could say one thing,
Go right ahead.
go vote.
Go vote.
Yes.
Go vote. Early
Do
voting
not
started.
Sit your butt at home.
Please don't.
And think that it doesn't matter. Your vote matters. Go. There's early voting. Go
Yeah,
vote.
go vote,
Just go
please.
vote and tell a friend. Go make a party out of it.
Yeah.
You know, go hang out. Go vote, and then get a sandwich.
Please.
Yeah.
Seriously, go
Absolutely.
vote.
And-
That to me is the one thing.
And when you get that sandwich, make sure it's local.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, they have those really good paninis now in Sacred Heart.
Oh my God.
Oh, really?
That place is
Oh
unbelievable.
my gosh.
I like-
I
Have you
work 2
gone
blocks
there
away.
yet?
Oh.
I hate to be a stereotype, but I like the chicken at Baptist.
Chicken at Baptist. Wow. All right. Yeah. That nailed it. Well, listen, man, you got to check out that place. They got a Michelin guided, recommendation. So like it's on like the Michelin's, like when you look at Michelin restaurants in Florida, it's on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really
Okay,
good. You
I'm
got to
gonna
check it out.
Really
I'm gonna
Yeah, check it out. You need the meals, man. You need the meals.
I do need it.
But all right, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for those who have tuned in. Again, thank you, Jermaine, for coming on with us. We
Absolutely.
appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure you guys hit that like button and that subscribe button before you head out here, and hit that follow button, guys. We need you. Follow. If you're watching on Rumble, hit that follow button, hit that like button. If you're on X, make sure you guys are following us on all of our social media platforms. They're right there down below. So make sure you guys are hitting those and following us for all our content there. And guys, get out and vote, man. Vote, it matters, right? It matters. We didn't even get a chance to talk about all the crazy stuff with Fishback and Donald's. Fishback having that.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we got to talk about it next week. There's tons of crazy stuff going on in Florida elections right now. But get out there and vote. The time is now. So make sure you guys are going and doing that, exercising your American right. And we'll see you guys next time. Same place, same time next week here on YouTube and X. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
That was great.